Hey, this is Troy Taylor with the Life Lessons Podcast. And my co-host, our co-host, the man from Seall, Crystal Ball Paul Medley from Matoka, Virginia, is joining us today. As always, you win some, you lose some. My son told me that when he's probably 3 or 4 years old. He said, Daddy, you win some, you lose some. And he gave me a taste of my own medicine. What does that mean to you? That you win some, you lose some. Paul?
Well, it was instilled early on. And what it means to me, first and foremost, it means coming from a 3-year-old, you got a lifelong sportsman, lifelong sportsman that practices sportsmanship. Because he don't get caught up in the wins and losses. He gets caught up in how he plays the game. Because you're not gonna win them all. But that attitude breeds sportsmanship. Is what I get out of it. Because too many people out there in this world, whether it be in the corporate room, military, or intercollegiate professional sports, or even little league sports, as we know, everyone thinks they got to win everything, and they're going to win everything. And then when they don't, again, to me, it's the adults that screw it up. So who teaches kids bad sportsmanship? It's the coaches. Because these little league coaches jump on the field trying to fight with referees, parents trying to fight with referees. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But from a kid's standpoint, just think about what that means in 20 years when they start coaching and their career is over. It's either they're going to go one way or the other. Either they're going to go the way of I got to win everything, or you win some and you lose some. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. I see what you're saying.
You're creating this nasty cycle of people that think you have to win everything, and you should never lose, And again,
they've never really been in the arena. Anybody that believes that has never really been in the arena, man.
No. I mean, and I don't know what it was. The one thing I did like is that taught me that is I always from youth, I respected and I cherished competing and was always intrigued by the other guy, meaning who we were going against. I mean, it's like you had a mutual respect for Mike Medley. He was always your nemesis, but you were trying to figure out a crafty way to get around him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because it's like he's going to show up at the ballpark and you've got to go toe to toe. But that doesn't mean he's going to win. We have a chance. How do we figure it out? But if we go down, at least we go down swinging. We shake hands afterwards, and I look at that guy like, if he's a solid person, it's like it's okay to lose to people better than you. It just makes you better. You got better that day because of that person, because you tried harder. It goes back to all my little buzzwords. You knew you couldn't have to go. You knew when you stepped in the field, you're trying harder than when you played the last place team in the league, and you knew they hadn't won a game.
That's what makes it fun.
Yes. But people lost that. People lost that sense.
That's because they're not true competitors. They don't understand competition.
That's where I look at this being bad for sports, because back in the day, people didn't do what LeBron did and move from Cleveland to Miami and create this little all-star team. No, you hung out where you were drafted if you were a star, and you grinded. Even in the NFL, you grinded. Hopefully they put pieces around you together that a team could form and compete for a championship. But now we see we forget about that move that he made, and then now it's a trickle down effect all the way down to high school. And, it's where can I go next?
Ooh.
And this was happening before the transfer portal. We already had transfer portal in high school, and I'm speaking locally.
I totally agree, Paul. You're breaking up a little bit. Hey, man, I went to Wawa this morning and got a cup of coffee. I saw this cup here. I was like, hey, man, I'm going to give me a cup. And I thought that I didn't know how much it cost, but I took the sticker off the bottom. You're breaking up a little bit.
We got blocked out.
I went to Wawa this morning, got this coffee cup, and I took the sticker off the bottom and rang it up at the self-checkout at Wawa. The cup of coffee with this cup. Are you ready for a price?
$12.99.
$3.99.
Wow.
Yes, I think it's rang up wrong, dude. $3.99 at the Wawa.
And that means you get free refills.
I don't know if it's free refills, but it's nothing's free. But
no, I think it's 99-cent refills.
That was great.
If you have a Wawa cup, I think it's 99 cents, which makes that deal extraordinary. I'm going to get one. Is it just a Wawa plastic cup?
The Wawa plastic cup, when you go in the one where Hebner's, where all the guys sit around at the front and talk about how great they were.
No. I'm telling you right now, that's not the wrong price. They're trying to. No, because that's the bottom basement Wawa cup. They're trying to sell that cup because it's like getting members. Then you always have your cup, and then they give you a cup of coffee for 99 cents.
Members, that's right.
Yes.
Connection.
Yeah, again, they're still making out in the deal because now you're just going to come to Wawa and buy coffee, and if you buy coffee, you're going to buy donuts. You buy donuts, you're going to buy,
gas. I bought gas. Gas was $40 to fill up my car.
So if you have a Wawa cup sitting in your car, you're more apt to get your gas from Wawa because you want to go in there and get your 99-cent coffee.
Yeah, you think you're getting a deal. They're creating an illusion. But I'll tell you, I've been studying psychology, and humans, they say that we want to be connected, but really we just want to feel like we're connected. We actually don't have to be connected, but we have to feel like there's a connection. And we have a connection with Wawa.
Yes.
Yes. You win some, you lose some. Like, how do the coaches like Belichick and Saban do it for so long? Because I think they understand it isn't about the outcome. It isn't about the outcome. If you're a competitor, it's about that every day, the grind, trying to figure that other guy out, how to be better than them. Parlay Joe. We love you, Parlay Joe. Matt Davis, that's a great deal for a cup of coffee. Man, I bought a cup of coffee at 7-Eleven on Willis Road. It wasn't even in a 7-Eleven cup. It was in a styrofoam cup. It looked like it came from the flea market. And it was $3. And I told the old woman, I said, did you ever think that a cup of coffee would be $3? Paul, what can you remember? I remember when coffee was 25 cents. We remember when gasoline was under $1.
Yep.
A cup of coffee is $3.
Yes.
I guess the world changes, and if you don't change, what's up, Side Coon? You become a dinosaur.
Well, and I will tell you this, and this is where I, of course, the way to go is always that way. But if you got a Keurig machine, you got replaceable cups. I'm going to tell you right now, the best cup of coffee I have all week is the cup of coffee I had this morning because I didn't go out to Wawa and Walmart chasing behind Jimbo Fisher. It is just a regular, standard, Folgers cup of coffee.
Yes.
I mean, just a cup of Folgers in a Keurig machine, put it in the replaceable. The tub cost, for me, like $5 because I shop on the installation. So a tub of Folgers is $5. So that's 2 cups of coffee from Wawa. But I can make many cups of coffee, and it's a better cup of coffee than Wawa. Even
Yeah.
you know what? I will argue because I was big. I was on a route that took me past Sheetz over there in off of Temple Avenue heading towards Hopewell.
Yeah.
Sheetz had the individual coffee bean grind. They
Yeah.
grind coffee beans, you make an individual cup. I was hooked on that. I loved it. Royal Farms does the same thing.
Why
However, I will put my cup of Folgers coffee right up against it all day, all day. And that's just because that's just all about, again, preparation. You know, like this morning, I'm like, I could have went out for coffee, but I'm like, nope, I want my coffee this morning.
Yeah.
And then I'm on a mushroom coffee kick now. Ground up
coffee.
Yes.
Psilocybin? Psilocybin mushrooms?
I have to get you the exact name. It's like Gaga Maga something.
Magic mushrooms?
No.
Break on through to the other side, Paul. Break on through to the other side. MK, we love you. MK, you made my day. You made my day, MK. You win some, you lose some. Paul Medley, life lessons. Coach Bald, I thought you were coming on. Coach Bald, be back tomorrow. Coach Bald, do we need to call up our friends? Do we need to call up our partners? Is the state of Florida messing around with you again? Because there's people that tell the politicians what to do, and we've partnered with them. So, Paul, your son, he's got a big day coming up. He's got an opportunity to compete at this camp, at this showcase. What have you told your son about this upcoming college showcase that he's going to display his talents at quarterback? What have you told him?
2 words. 2 words. My advice to him, 2 words. No more than that. Have fun. I mean, have fun. I mean, you know, if you've been preparing like he has, then there's no reason to go out there and think about anything else but having fun, because it's an opportunity to compete, and it's what you've built. It's what you built yourself up to, and it all started back when, like, again, this is for the young people out there. It all started when he was a freshman, when he took his academics just as serious as football. Yes. And he was able to accumulate a GPA by the end of his sophomore year that allowed him this opportunity. Because without the academics, you don't even have the opportunity. It's just a matter of really how really great you are. But then on the field, he came to practice every day and prepared like he was going to play.
Yes.
And I mean, he could have transferred. He could have bounced around when trying to look for an opportunity. No, he came and he loved being the scout team quarterback.
Ooh.
He's a practice guy, you know? So he had a lot of scout team reps against first team defense that gave him, that's where he built his confidence, on the practice field.
Yes.
Not getting a starting job somewhere else or going to join an all-star team. He just stayed there and worked, man. So, you know, I just told him, dude, just go out there and have fun. Let the chips fall where they may. You only can worry about the things you can control.
Yes.
And that's your attitude and your effort.
Ooh, attitude and effort. You're dropping the knowledge today, man. You're dropping the knowledge.
But it's not. But again, once you make it past 5th grade, understandable, It just doesn't make sense. It's not rocket science.
No, I'm definitely not a rocket scientist.
Yep.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. You told me something the other day that motivated me, and I told my head coach at Ed Waters what you said, and he loved it. He made the statement to me last Friday. You never know what you say to people, how they're going to internalize that. You said, man, if I had a choice, I would go to Ed Waters over some of these local colleges because it just looks cool. That's marketing. That's a message. That's creating a narrative. Why did you tell me that? Why would you say that you would rather go Ed Waters than to some of these other local small schools? What have you seen that has caused you to feel that way?
Who, me?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I've always been big on getting away from normal, getting away from comfort, putting yourself out of your comfort zone, meaning, and it's forced upon you in the military because you got to travel to all these foreign places and you got to put your feet down and start living. So, what better way to make yourself more well-rounded than putting yourself out there, getting away from home a little further, where you just can't just hop in a car and get home like in less than 2 hours. No, you have to deal with your own problems. You have to deal with your own struggle. It just teaches you how to look problems and challenges in the face and get after it.
Ooh,
because at the end of the day, if you go down to Ed Waters, I can't come to practice for you. Your coach is not going to listen to what I have to say. You got to go out there and be a growing man and take care of your own business. Like we've talked about, you guys want offers, but as Coach Chesney at JMU said, you want offers, great. But the day you sign, it's time to go to work. All your 31 offers, you come to campus talking about 31 offers you had in high school. That don't mean nothing.
No.
You're at the bottom of the totem pole once you step on campus.
Yes.
You got to work.
31 offers to me means 31 confusion. The more choices I have, the more confused I get. Like, give me a choice of chocolate and vanilla. All right, strawberry's a third. But when I go to Baskin Robbins, that's too many choices. And too many choices sometimes is a bad thing, man. You got too many voices. You got too many people pulling you in different directions. Like, keep it simple. Whatever choice you make, you're the one that's going to make it right.
Mm-hmm.
I have a kid in my class. I got on him yesterday. He's a senior in high school, and he thinks he's going to go play small college football. But a volunteer teacher came to me and said that this kid is cussing, he's acting up, and he's supposed to be a mentor, a senior, younger kid. And I told him, I didn't even say nothing, but he said that the woman was snitching. Well, when you claim someone else is snitching, you're taking the blame off of you and what you're doing wrong, and you're blaming someone else.
Yep. Does that sound like somebody you want on your team?
No.
No.
No. No, because it's always someone else's fault. They're always
Yeah,
changing.
and again, it's such a beautiful thing how football is a microcosm of life. You know, you it's all about the locker room, and you want people. It's a big locker room, one of the biggest in sports. Actually, probably is the biggest in sports. There's a lot of people, a lot of personalities that have a common goal, and
Ooh, ideology.
people putting their shortfalls off on other people, meaning other players, other teammates. You won't be around that long in that locker room.
No. Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Once you commit, you're committing to a whole lot of things, and when we get to that process, then I will let him know that, like, you're committing again to the players, that locker room. But I don't really have to tell him that because he's already committed to his locker room, and he'll be ready to commit to another one once his high school eligibility's up, because he knows he can't play there anymore. So he's already on the path to being a good teammate. And again, that's all you can strive for. I mean, we recognize Tom Brady as the GOAT. Everyone's like, Tom Brady's the man. But you know what? The first thing that people that played with him say is, man, he was a great teammate. He knew everyone's name from the star Gronk to the last guy on the practice squad. He knew him by first name, and he always introduced himself to them. They didn't have to come to him.
And that's a good thing. Russell Wilson, who's from where we're from, people said about him that they couldn't even text him. They couldn't even get to him. They didn't have his phone number. Marshawn Lynch said that.
Correct. Dude, I mean, and that's the thing. You can great point. Because I'm not saying it because I was never in the locker room. I was never his teammate. But we get to watch TV and listen to things his teammates say. I've never heard, never, since he's been in the NFL, that someone says, no, man, Russell's a great teammate. I've never heard that. That's not good. That's not good.
Yeah. And did you see the text that Joe Alt, or the Joe Alt's son, whatever his name is, got from Herbert? He said, my name is Justin. I'm the quarterback. Justin Herbert texted Joe Alt that. My name is Justin, and I'm the quarterback. Dude, I heard that Justin Herbert is a wonderful person, a better person than he is player. And I heard the same thing about Jaden Daniels. And I was never really a fan of Jaden Daniels until I talked to somebody who was at Arizona State with him. And I said, is he a good kid? He said, he's a great kid. Like, wow. Okay. There's something about playing that position, quarterback, that you can't be a turd. It can't be all about you because you're like the head coach. You get the credit when they win, and you get the blame when you lose. It's the ultimate leadership position.
Yes.
Quarterback. You're the face of the program. You're a leader.
Yep.
And really, we're talking about leadership. You win some, you lose some. And when you win, act like you've done it before. And when you lose, act like the other guy has accomplished something. Dude,
yes.
I was told by the Virginia High School League that I was a poor sport. And I said, I'm sorry, but actually, I'm the best sport. Because I understand sportsmanship. Just because I'm intense during the game doesn't mean I don't understand sportsmanship. Just because a competitor wants to win or has intensity doesn't mean they're a poor sport. Man, we're getting into it today, aren't we?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, man, I was just telling Lambo, man, we're going to be worn out because this is like off season, you know, and we're having these deep conversations. What are we going to do when the ball's kicked off? I'm afraid of Total Pole Nation when the ball kicks off. What is this place like?
I mean, what is it like? It's like right now.
No, it's a lot more. It is
whatever you want it to be.
But again, I just can't believe how like, you know, we're talking last night about the 18 games, and just football is just like, it's really king in the United States, you know. I mean, and then I look at, you know, I'm a big.
Do you crown Roger Goodell for that, or did the system make this?
Well, no, I mean, you know what? Him and his staff have had some great ideas, and they've had some not so great ideas. You know, I mean, I'm not a hater, man. I'm not a hater. Yeah. I'm not going to sit there and hate on.
Bash Roger Goodell like I would.
No, I can't, because he does do some things. I mean, of course. I mean, and again, he would do. Look, it's not a position that people are going to like you. Not everyone. You know, does everyone like the president of the United States that live in America? No. He's the president of the National Football League. Does everyone like the commissioners and all the other sports? No, they don't. It's just that we hear more about Goodell because football is king.
I don't even know who the baseball guy is. I mean,
again, for college football, all we do is yell and scream at the NCAA because there's not a single person to point the finger at. So, I mean, hey, look. All I will say is this: no one's perfect, but in his tenure, has the league got better or worse?
I mean, if you want to quantify it, I guess it's money. Yes, the NFL is the #1 sport in America. I mean, it's not even close. But all of our games are American. Football, baseball, basketball. I mean, they were all created around the same time period.
Yeah, and again, what was I going to say?
Dude, it's like football is different because it's not like basketball and baseball. Like basketball and baseball is more like a carnival. It's the show. The show comes to town for 3 or 4 days and then they leave. In football, dude, I think there's a reason they have the games on Sunday. I think there's a reason. I mean, it's a ritual. I mean, it's ingrained in our psyche. It's ingrained in our DNA as Americans.
I mean, hold on a second. So yeah, there's a reason. So and again, don't make it past 5th grade. Okay, college football was played on Saturday. They needed a stage to themselves that wasn't part of a weekday where everyone's playing Sunday. Yeah. It's not any more difficult. It's not any more complicated than that. And then, I mean, and it kicks off there. Whenever that was decided, you know, that had monumental effects. Yeah, it became culture. It became ingrained and embedded in our heads that Sunday is sacred to the NFL. And no one tries to compete with that in the fall because you're going to be toned out. And again, we've gone through a lot with little league sports, little league football, people moving away from football back in, the last 20 years because of injuries and stuff like that. But it hasn't stopped the game from growing. It hasn't stopped the level of interest for the National Football League to wane. It has increased on a yearly basis. And again, last year we had games on Christmas. That's before the games. There was no buzz. But after the games were played and you were at home on Christmas, everybody was talking about how awesome it was. Why wouldn't they talk about it before the season? Because it hadn't happened yet. And then when the day is finally here and you're at home on Christmas in your Christmas pajamas and you're watching the NFL, you're excited. You're excited.
You're getting me excited. You're getting me excited. I'm like, man, I want to go. I want to go. Who doesn't want to go? I mean, who doesn't want to compete against the best? I mean, on the biggest stage in the world.
Correct. But I will say this though, I really started getting into watching soccer, and man, the NFL is a blip on the radar compared to world soccer. I mean, all these
money-wise or people-wise?
All of it. The interest, the passion, the pageantry. I mean, if you watch the top, and I'm just talking about the top 5 leagues, like English Premier League, La Liga.
The World Cup was crazy.
Serie A. I mean, World Cup is on that's FIFA. That's country competition soccer. That's like, the soccer.
That's Olympics.
It's its own Olympics, because the only sport that's being played is soccer. And this country is going to be covered from head to toe with the best soccer countries in the world at the next World Cup. And you'll see that it is king of the world. Football's king in the United States. But that thing is, and again, it's not going anywhere, because all it takes is a ball and 2 nets.
And you don't even need a net.
You don't even need one.
Find a tree.
Just need 2 trees.
Find a cone. Get 2 guys to stand next to each other. You 2 guys are the goal.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, man. Yeah. It may be like, if we get into anthropology and what are the first sports, and dude, I'd say boxing, running, racing, jumping.
Racing. Yeah, racing against the people.
Running against each other, but like handball, football. You throw a ball, you kick a ball. Those are, dude, is it a sport if it doesn't have a ball in it? I don't know. I mean, I guess to Americans,
I mean, badminton's a sport.
I guess it's got a birdie, right? It's got like a little ball.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wrestling's a sport.
Dart.
Wrestling's a sport. The original sports, because they didn't want to kill each other. The Greeks had to fight each other, so they actually didn't want to kill each other. That's why they started the Olympics. The Romans didn't care, because nobody was beating them. They could kill each other. They could kill the slaves, or tell the slaves, "Hey, man, you guys win enough to get your freedom, and you're going to be rock stars." Like Gladiator. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained, Paul? I've never seen the movie Gladiator. I need to watch it.
I haven't seen it either. I don't want. Dude, I'm a reality TV show guy. Meaning, I watch football, basketball, baseball, golf. That's it. I don't watch TV shows.
Yeah, sports is your entertainment. It's sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Sports is your entertainment. Just like chariot racing was in the Roman times, or the gladiators. Was comedy. drama. It's entertainment. In the end, Paul, we're all just entertainers. We have 50 people watching us at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Life Lessons podcast. And I was thinking about that this morning. What was it that led me, guided me to Walmart that morning to run into you?
It was just
Divine intervention.
Yeah, something that was needed. Something. I mean, I totally believe in that, because my whole life existence has been like that. You know, it's been being at the right place at the right time, and it's no thought or
It was destiny.
Yeah, it wasn't provoked by myself. I mean, it was just, I'm just walking around in life. And again, the one thing I will say is, I've always been a person that said hello when I see a person, and when I make eye contact. And then if someone starts talking to me, I don't quickly say, hey, hold on, I gotta go. If I have a minute, I'm gonna sit and listen, because I'm always gonna get a little golden nugget that's gonna help me or allow me to help others.
Wow.
It's just taking a time out, because there's people that walk around, older than you, younger than you, different nationality than you, that can just teach you things if you just stop to listen. And that's why I have a really that's one of my biggest pet peeves, is people who don't listen. You can ask anyone who really knows me. I don't like people who don't listen.
How do you know they don't listen?
How do I know? Because I've been schooled into being an active listener, because you can't survive and be you can't make it in an army and get promoted without being an active listener. And by being an active listener, you become a better speaker, because your bosses in the military always say words have meaning. Meaning, one, be concise with your words. Don't over talk, because it makes it look like it. It's the appearance is you're not confident in what you're talking about. So why should I be confident in what you're trying to sell me on an idea or what have you? No, clear, concise, and I'm up. They see me. I'm gone.
See, I'm learning from you. I've been listening to news, ESPN. I listen to Matt Pat. I listen to Lambo. And there's one word that I continue to hear on ESPN when I do listen to it, or a lot of different places. And it's the word obviously. 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 I hear it over and over, obviously. Like, is that a Paul's word? Like, because ain't nothing obvious. Why are you saying obviously if it's obvious? Do I need to say Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time when it's obvious? Or it's obviously he's the greatest of all time? What is this word obviously, and why has it always been so important and used? Or is this something that obviously is being obviously taught to be used? Have you ever thought of this? Have you ever heard this? I hear it all the time on ESPN, Matt Pat, Lambo. Obviously. I don't hear you say obviously very often. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think it's a unconscious way of setting your own narrative. Meaning, you're not. You are.
You're lying to yourself.
Yes.
Woo!
And you're trying to downplay. You're trying to downplay or overplay what has just been stated to you.
Because everything
It's
is an
and I
argument.
mean, and then it gets used as a transition word where if you take the word out, look, hey, Jimbo,
Yeah.
obviously Michael Jordan is the best basketball player in the world. Hey,
Obviously.
Jimbo, Michael Jordan's the best basketball player in the world. Make a statement, stand behind it. The obviously just puts you just take some of the onus off of yourself.
I don't
Obviously,
even
it's
know
not.
if they know they use it like that. I don't even know if they know it. Like, obviously, like, no, it ain't obviously. We wouldn't be discussing it. And dude, not everything is an argument.
And again, it also think about it. Once you say that one word, you take yourself off the hook for defining why you're making that statement.
Because not everything is an argument. I learned from you and you learned from me, and it's okay if you believe that liberty is dark, Chris, and that Virginia Tech are the good people. Well, if you've lived long enough like us, you know that the bad people just ain't at liberty, and the good people just ain't at.
You know what? And you know it's a good word to replace obviously with, to make the onus on yourself. The next thing that's coming out of your mouth, instead of obviously, start with the word listen. Because now you have everyone's attention. And now what you're about to say is your own thoughts and your own takes and your own opinion. You and you only. Don't include others in. That's what obviously does.
I have a guy that I know. I've known him for like 5 years. And he will always say, listen, look at me, look at me.
Yes.
When you have to tell people to listen and look at you, they ain't really listening and looking at you. Like, that's a skill. It's a skill to know when people aren't listening to you, because you need to stop talking. And they will show you what they're up to, or they will tell you. Right, Paul?
Well, I mean, for me, when I hear the word listen, when you say listen, Paul, I take listen for its definition, meaning you stop talking and you open your ears. When you say listen, you have my attention. I'm all ears. Because you're about to say something that you don't want any distractions, you don't want any outside noise, and you don't want to be interrupted or disrupted. And I'm going to just hear it for what it is. Because listen, the word listen is a verb that means to.
Have you ever seen this?
I can't see it.
You see that?
I can't see it.
Okay, it says listen and silent. A guy that coached the NFL showed me this once. I'm going to show it to you. This is key. This is key to listening. Are you ready? Listening and silent have the same letters. Listen and silent have the same letters. Look at that. You see it?
Yeah. Yep. Now I do.
Patterns. There's patterns. There's wavelengths. There's frequencies. There's vibrations. There's a pendulum swinging. Our heart is beating right now, and our lungs are working in and out, and we're not even thinking about it. Man. The man from Seall. The man from Soul with Soul. Crystal Ball Paul.
Hey, if you took my money line parlay last night, you're eating at the Sizzler tonight. I hope you help me out, Coach Ball.
We go in Sizzler. Hey, St. Pete Rejuvenate, we love you. Life Lessons, we love you. I got to go to work. In about 5 more years, 6 more years, I'll be with Paul. I'll be retired.
Nice.
I guess.
Yeah. You can join me on my 5-minute walks every morning at 6:30.
How long ago did you give me the name Jimbo Fisher?
That was when Palomino 10 years ago.
Wow.
10 years ago.
We'll end with this. Why did you give me the name Jimbo Fisher? It's because the way I talk? I thought it was the way that I worked.
No, it's the way you talk. Talk fast. And I mean, there's, like I said, you can carry 3 conversations on at one time. Like, it's just really, I mean, and people call it flapping at the gums, but again, Jimbo Fisher, he was also a good football coach. He just talked fast, man. He didn't have time. He didn't have time. Yeah. He didn't have time to be, like.
Yeah. He's a cooler Saban. I mean, him and Nick Saban
he's just
a lot alike.
He's not completely polished. He's just he
himself.
He wears his heart on his sleeve, He didn't try to change from the coordinator to the head coach, but again, because he was his authentic self, he was great at the podium. Great at the podium, because there was a lot said in that fast talk. If you're listening,
I've got to hit up Rick Trickett. I got to tell him, dude, I need to talk to Jimbo Fisher. Give me his cell number. Could you imagine me and Jimbo Fisher talking football?
Oh my goodness!
What would he say? Are you related to me?
There's a lot of fast talking going on there.
Hey, I love you. I got to go. Chance Foster, we love you, man. What time's tonight, Tonopole Sports?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Let's get it.